Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles of the Bus number 125, and today we're going to be doing our first Gauntlet of Forces from Beyond, Rise of the Forces, Ghostbusters, whatever this new expansion is called. This will be our first one, and so typically in our Gauntlet videos, I like to spend more time actually just kind of talking about the lineup as opposed to the individual deck lists and say why we picked all the decks and everything. But since this is the first gauntlet of the new season, I just want to go for high power level. And so I'm not really looking to pick or ban against any specific kind of deck. I just want to bring good decks that should be good against whatever weird stuff people are bringing, whatever brews they have in regards to the new champions or the new cards or whatever. I just want to have something fairly consistent, but also at a pretty high power level. And so I think we really hit the nail on the head with this lineup we're bringing today. We are going to be bringing our supercharged lineup, if you will. We're bringing Mono Kaisa. This is a big, hey, let's hit evolve style deck. This has been my current ladder grinder at the moment. You're looking to level up your Kaisas as quickly as possible and then just get a bunch of really favorable combats with Kaisa having a bunch of stats and a bunch of keywords, and then the various stats and keywords you'll get off the Voidlings and the Betheldi Elders. Been having quite a bit of success with this one, and pretty happy with how this one has turned out. The second deck we'll be bringing is Akshan Gnar. The big thing that you'll see out of this one is we have added in Supercharger, but with this current format, and so many decks being kind of like centered on Supercharge, I felt pretty confident in bringing Akshan Gnar. This is a deck that in the previous seasonals we took there, and it's kind of designed to have a lot of the same gameplay patterns that you would see out of Akshan Renekton, to where you're making a big overwhelm unit and slapping the Ruin Runner on it, but you get a lot more interactivity with a list like this. The idea being is if you're playing a mirror match against Renekton, then you have access to Wallop, but then also Gnar flips into additional Wallops, and so you have ways to come in and try to shut down your opponent's attacks. So you're a little bit slower, but you pick up a little bit more interactivity. But if people are out here trying to do very similar things with the likes of Kaisa, to where you're trying to build a very go tall style deck, then I feel a little bit better bringing this deck that has this massive collection of Wallops in it that can hopefully beat up on a deck that doesn't have too much interactivity. If we're playing stats on stats, I'm happy if my stats are a little bit slower, if we get to be out here and functional with the Wallops. Last deck we're going to be bringing is Bard Illaoi, another one that can just beat up right to the face with the big overwhelm attacks with Illaoi and the tentacles. The big thing here is we are bringing in the Riptide Sermons. Only one copy in our list today. It is a fairly expensive spell, but this is the new edition coming out of the new set, and I feel like this is going to be one of the highest impact cards coming out of the set. Whether or not that lands in an Illaoi deck or lands somewhere else, time will tell, but I do think Riptide Sermon is arguably just the best new card out of the set, and something that we want to do battle with here today. And so that's what we're going to be bringing battles with. I did pull up Supercharger on Wikipedia just to make sure I was right. It's something that you do to an engine in a car or maybe to an airplane, and it makes them go real fast. And so that got me on a real Fast and the Furious kick. You all know how much we love Fast and the Furious around here. And so we named our three decks appropriately. We've got Family. Vin Diesel knows all about family. We got Real American Muscle. That's the only thing Dominic Toretto will drive. He's not driving any of those Hondas, none of those Subarus. Only Real American Muscle for Dominic Toretto. And then Tuna on White, no crust. Everyone's favorite sandwich. You go to the little diner with Brian. Say, hey, Brian, what do you want, the regular? Yeah, girl. Tuna on white. No crust. And all right, off to battles. And so what are we dealing with here today? It looks like we've got Illaoi Shin, which I think we should be kind of okay with. If we play a mirror with Gnar or whatnot, I think we can kind of handle that one. The other ones, it looks like a Reputation deck with LeBlanc Sivir. I think that's probably just fairly weak. And down here at the end, we have what looks to be Discard Draven, but with Rumble. This tends to be a fairly aggressively styled deck, and the one that I think I'm the most afraid of out of the three. And so let's go ahead and ban out the Draven, and then we'll do battle against these two decks. Hopefully we can just like 2-0 the Illaoi or something. But I think I'm good enough to just start off with the Kaisa. I think she's just going to be our weak link, if you will. I think that if we're going to say that both the Kaisa deck and the Illaoi deck have a 55% win rate, I think the Illaoi deck gets there by winning like 60-40, and then I think that Illaoi, I'm trying to say Illaoi, I feel like is a little bit more high rolly, and things can go a little bit more wrong, and that or I'm sorry, Kaisa is a little more high rolly, and then the other one is a little bit just more consistent. But all right, I'm happy enough to get these starts. One of the things you will find with this Evolve deck is you tend to want to just play your Voidlings early. You can run into awkward spots to where you miss out on a keyword because you were waiting for a good one. But let's check and see if we have anything interesting in here. Augment, Faded, and Challenger. Not really what we're looking for, so we'll take the double keyword off of the Hatchling. Okay. A little bit worrisome. We need to pick up a Kaisa, or we need to pick up a Rite of Calling, get our evolves happening early here. Also wouldn't be upset to spike a Challenger. So what do we got now? Regenerate, fairly weak. Fearsome, fairly weak. And Quick Attack. These are all abilities that fit on our other cards, which is kind of unfortunate. So let's just pick... I don't want Regeneration, but... like, if we pick up a Merciless Hunter next turn, then I don't want to be, like, playing Fearsome this turn and hitting Merciless Hunter next turn. That's all just kind of bad. I think we can just bank one, though, because there's no way we're going to hit our Evolve next turn. We're probably going to play Brightsteel Protector, but then we can't evolve beyond that. What you got for us? All the Watchful Idols? No fearsome attacks today. This tentacle's getting out of hand. What do we got? We did pick up a Merciless Hunter. It's fairly tempting to just go after the tentacle, but like if this goes wrong with the Merciless Hunter, we're in a pretty bad spot. And so maybe we could. He's only got 3 mana. Like, so what we're saying is, okay, we play Merciless Hunter, we hook the tentacle, and then opponent plays a Twin Disciplines. How bad is that? And so I guess it's not horrible. We still have the Brightsteel Protector in the back to go for it, and he's probably not adding to his board if we try and take down the tentacle. I just don't think, like, if we go into next turn and he like plays an Illaoi and we haven't done anything to attempt to harm this tentacle, we're going to be in a pretty bad spot. I think he's just going to like Twin Disciplines here, and this is going to feel kind of bad, but this tentacle is getting out of hand. Yep. But what may help turn things around is we should be able to hit a Evolve next turn, right? Depending on how the keywords fall. We can hit Evolve, Regenerate's a miss, Overwhelm's a miss, but Valor gives us 2 keywords, and then we can get the 3rd keyword off the barrier. Yep, this is a bit of a disaster. Okay. We'll put the damage onto Illaoi. We're not going to be big enough to take down this tentacle next turn, but we might come up with a way to take Illaoi down. Go ahead and play the Overwhelm one. Shouldn't need to be picking up Overwhelm. It's kind of an easy one to hit, but I think we need to... if we pick up Kaisa, we're going to want it. What do you got, Voidling? Faded? Not quite what we're looking for. We can get this Radiant Guardian down after this turn. I think that's probably the way to go about it. Let's put some damage onto Illaoi. Have to hook the tentacle out of combat, but we can do, like, one of these. Maybe not. Does that attack even really get us anywhere if we just put 2 damage on Illaoi? Because we're going to come in and just quicksand her next turn. I don't think that that's very good. Let's go this way. This is still going to get us... Well... Now that I think about it, it's like she's going to flip and we're going to be short of the lethal. We should have hooked her with the bird. I mean, the other argument to hanging on to the bird is we really kind of need it for when Kaisa turns up, so we can give Kaisa Challenger Scout. But we gotta actually draw a Kaisa as well.
May she look upon our journey with pride, or perhaps humor.
We still got 6 copies, pretty much. We got the Kaisa, we got the 3 copies of Rite of Calling. It's kind of tough. I mean, we're 25% of the way into our deck and still haven't seen either one. This is okay enough. He can't lethal us this turn because we have quicksand.
This will be fun.
Looking to put 3 damage onto Illaoi so that we can try and kill her with Valor next turn. Sucks to leave up the Sea's Voice while he has this massive tentacle, but... oh shit, hang on, she healed. Alright. Okay, so we gain 4, but our hand is booty. So I guess our other kind of angle to victory, well, we're too far away with Kaisa, but as I say, we have the elusive and the Silverwing Diver. We could have potentially gotten something there, but we're too far away out of this. So Illaoi got out of hand. We just couldn't interact with that tentacle fast enough. But all right, let's see if we can't beat up on the Reputation deck. I have a feeling this deck isn't gonna. This is probably the weakest one coming out of his lineup. And we should hopefully be fairly okay against this. But a bit unfortunate to have to battle Illaoi in the first round and have a weak draw come out. I bet everything's just fine. Maybe. Okay, there the game goes. Alright, so I'm going to hang on to the Rite of Calling, make sure we hit our Illaoi, and get rid of everything else. So we're looking for just kind of like any 1-drop. Missing on your curve kind of hurts, but Blinding Assault helps fit in nicely since we can spell mana it out. But definitely looking for a cheaper play to make usage of some of our friends here. Immediately draw the duplicate. Sad day. I think my game sound just fucked up. It sounds weird. Feels like the voice line's cut out or something. I don't know. Never my fault. Blame it on Riot. All right, so here's a hatchling. A little bit late, but it's okay. We can turn things around here when we have a bird plus a barrier. Not entirely sure why he's passing, but we aren't missing out on very much just to pass there as well.
Let's make this a night to remember.
All right, got our bird. It's tempting to go ahead and just try and Rite of Calling away the Xerxai hatchling, but I mean, when we have the opportunity to trade a hatchling for a Thorn of the Rose, it's just too good. If he wants to play a combat trick or something here to trade with the hatchling, that's completely fine. So do we want to start getting this other bird going? Right, he's got Guile in hand, which makes things a little bit awkward. I think this is okay. Not expecting to get too much done on this turn, but it's like we play the bird, Then we put the Brightsteel Protector on the bird and he plays Guile. It's kind of like, meh. Eh. Just make a sad noise, I guess. Right, I suspect he just immediately Guiles. But we are in kind of a spot here to where his units aren't very big. And if he tries to pass and we just pass while he has 6 total mana, that's going to feel really good from our side of the board. So, right, what I would kind of suspect here is like he plays Guile onto the bird, and then we just pass, right? I'm not going to hook his Snapper with the Valor. The birds are too good in terms of Kaisa, and so... Interesting, he's letting us get hooks in, and with good units. Very surprised about this. It's also pretty tempting now just to Rite of Calling away the Brightsteel Protector. Calling Strike, damn. That was a pretty good one. So the value in doing the Rite of Calling is it gets us access to Supercharge for our next turn. We don't completely need it, but I feel a little bit safer with it when he's sitting here with Guile. So we can look to go ahead and pick up the second Kaisa. And then she'll be evolved when we play her. We haven't played Quick Attack yet. She does look pretty good on a board full of 1 health units, though. No complaints about that. Sivir attack is okay. If he has an exhaust here, we're still fine. We can sharp sight through the exhaust.
We have something the void will never understand. Me.
Also interesting with Kaisa, she's very good at popping the Sivir spell shield with her ability. So it's like when we come into next turn, we can look to say Supercharge onto Valor, copy all of Valor's abilities onto Kaisa, and then Kaisa would have like 5 abilities. Kill the Snapper. Yeah, that all sounds good. Sure. Very surprised to see the Guile now. He's nowhere near lethal. Okay, so the new question is, he's out of mana. Do we want to go ahead and Cataclysm now? I'm also... Okay, we can't Cataclysm Sivir because she's just going to pop that with the spell shield. I was thinking if the ability would go out here, whatever second or the Cathian Rain would pop the spell shield and the Cataclysm would happen. That's not entirely how that's going to work. Okay. Give the bird all the stats. Second skin the bird. Now we have a free hook onto this little dum-dum. He should just be getting killed by the Kaisa ability, but since it has Overwhelm, it's still going to chunk in damage. It looks like we're killing the Merciless Hunter without even trying. Looks good. The worry here would be something like a Whirling Death kind of card, but I mean, we have a Spell Shield, and we have a Sharp Sight to grow over top of his strike range. So I think all in all, we're just looking pretty good here. Nice. You don't have a board anymore. Womp womp.
Doesn't look like much.
Okay, want to go ahead and play the Cataclysm now. I want to make sure we have a target for it, right? If we attack and kill all this shit and he doesn't have another play, we can't play any more Cataclysms because he doesn't have a target for a challenge. So I'm going to challenge now. try and get this extra amount of damage in. Should overwhelm 2 and then like slam for, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 extra damage? 6 in total or so?
Time to burn you away.
It's like 8 coming in. Alright, now we're still fresh to get this last attack in. Haven't used the actual attack token yet. Cupcake it. GG. Punch the NOS, bro. Slam it into 5th. Pop the clutch. Hit the NOS button. Oh.
Victory all the same.
Feels good. Feels good. Alright, on to Illaoi. Hope y'all are doing okay out there. I went outside today. It's fucking hot. So I checked the temperature because it was fucking hot. 100 degrees. Welcome to Kansas City. It was miserable hot. Our air conditioning turned off last night. It didn't go out. I woke up at night and I was like, man, it's fucking hot. What's the deal? And so then I still slept through it. I wake up early and then I saw the notification on my phone that the thermostat batteries were dead. And so that was apparently enough for it to get up to 80 in the house. So I'm really... I'm feeling it for you Europeans that don't have air conditioning. I guess I can't really be one to bitch if it got up to 80 barely. We're out here bitching a little bit. I guess we shouldn't be doing that. But here, fairly awkward. I think we can safely pass because we have like answered prayer in hand if we want to bank mana. Like I assume he's gonna try and say take the Glory Seeker into the Watchful Idol. Yep. Go ahead and throw away a Tentacle. It's not particularly strong at this point. Now we can look to Hired Gun away the Glory Seeker and then kill it next turn with Bird.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
I think that's okay. This Bard's going to be huge. He's going to get we'll probably get the 2 bonus next turn. Sized up and ready to take down some 6 drops. Or some 5 attack units, whatever we're facing here. Seems okay. So what, he's got 2 mana? Is there anything we have to worry about? I don't think so. If he's going to drop like Noxus combat tricks, they're only going to boost attack. If he has a Shurima combat trick, it would only be Shape Stone. Wouldn't be enough to survive. Right. Look at that. Bard's at 420. Swag. I swear we're adults out here. He's just passing. I wonder if he has a weird hand just full of like combat tricks and sivers or something. Like they do have like a lot of gotcha kind of plays to where they stall and then play an exhaust after the fact or something. But I mean, if you want to exhaust Bard, fine. Exhaust onto Esmuth is kind of annoying, but he's got to have something. And his something I don't care about, right? If he plays a 6/4 and then exhausts Bard, whatever. If he plays a 6/4 and exhausts one of our small units, whatever. If he just dropped his phone in the toilet via Rage Quit, LOL. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Oh, Tentacle Smash. We can save this for post-combat if we want. Hopefully get to take a unit down with it. Okay. Gonna boost Bard. I like having one big blocker against these decks, since they tend to just play on curve and have one expensive dude. His draw seems kind of weird and bad, given that he didn't play anything last turn. But they tend to play on curve with one big boy. And we're to this point again to where if we either have to just like interact with his stuff, then it's fine. And then if he like really invests heavily in this bard, that's also pretty okay. I like where this is at.
Time to make an appearance.
How much do we even care about LeBlanc? Like we're at such a high health total. I don't think I'm that worried about it. I'm gonna go for the big tentacle here, with the idea being if opponent is gonna make some kind of like exhaust play next turn, we can still Eye of Nagakaboros up to 6 health and survive a LeBlanc hit. I don't know at this point how invested I want to get in that kind of play. Like it really starts to suck for us when it feels like we're pretty far ahead, but then also if opponent like spends 2 spells and takes down our tentacle that we invested 9 mana in, it doesn't feel very good.
Gunfight.
So let's just take this LeBlanc hit. Like the other thing with LeBlanc and the quick attackers is if he plays, say, like an Elixir of Wrath to go up to 8 attack, and then LeBlanc is to survive at the end of the day, that's pretty bad. But if it's on the other side where she doesn't have quick attack, then it just feels much better. It's not nearly as bad if LeBlanc dies in the process. All right, but here come the chimes. Shit's starting to roll. Gonna go ahead and play our slow spell onto LeBlanc, so that we could potentially just get a kill next turn. We're gonna open with the Eye of Nagakaboros. Then if he's not gonna play any more units here, this only lasts till this turn. Oh shit! Hang on, that's not what I wanted. I had in my head that we were gonna hook her out of combat next turn, but whoops.
You are dressed to kill.
Just making sure you all are paying attention. Zap and Illaoi. Well. And he doesn't even have to block Bard here. That sucks. If we saved that point of mana, we could have played Bard card here and maybe gotten a chime out of it, but
Wasted effort.
it's like he's blocking anyways. Sure. Not gonna play Watchful Idol. Our units are big enough at this point. Alright, seems okay. What you got for us, Dudeheim? Broster, Brodio, Brohammer. So how do we go about this? I think it's okay just to drop Zap. Just to make sure we have a blocker. Or do we want to just go ahead and Tentacle Slam LeBlanc? That's probably the way to go about it. But I was wanting to wait until we had Illaoi on the board before we drop the Tentacle Slam. But it's gonna be short, anyways. We're not going to be dealing 15 off the single slam, so Illaoi won't level up. Sure. Have to block here. It's okay. He's going to have a combat trick, but this looks like it should still feel pretty bad for opponent. Yep. It's down to 1 card in hand with LeBlanc on board. We have an actual million cards in our hand. We're gonna be crushing next turn. Now the Tentacle Slam will be big enough to just level up Illaoi. How much is this for? 12? So we can lead with Zap and then get some of this going? Okay. So we'll play Bard, we'll play Zap to get the card draw. Maybe the card has a Chime attached to it. And then we can follow up with the Tentacle Smash. Kind of lame. Kind of lame, dude. We got a Chime. What you got? You got one card left? And don't think it's going to be enough, my dude. GG. Is Ari one of the Star Guardians? Is that what they're even called? Oh man, I forgot to turn a card premium. Oh fuck, no wonder we lost that first game. Man, I gotta cycle back. Okay. Victory was achieved. I can't believe we won a game without paying the pay-to-win price. So let's see here real quick. I was gonna go level up one of these cheap Evolve units. So let's see. We'll go to the family deck here. Where were you at, Voidling? It's your turn. It's your time. So premium, so prismatic. The pay-to-win price has been paid. Yeah, you gotta remind me of things like this. That was almost a disaster. Okay. Oof. Oof, that's close. Alright, so what do we got here? We got Gnar Trundle. I think that's a concurrent timelines deck. It'll probably piss me off, but it doesn't seem horrible given our matches, right? That tends to be a Blighted Ravine style deck, and we're like okay against them. Not spectacular, not horrible. The Sun Disc we should annihilate. I'm not worried about that in the least. And then this Quinn Gwen is kind of like a Quinn build around thing. We tooled around with Quinn Gwen and didn't think it was very good, and so I feel pretty confident in our whole lineup being able to smash this Gwen deck twice. I'm just going to ban out the Timelines deck, and I feel pretty comfortable with both of our decks being able to beat up either of his decks twice. But let's get the Kaisa out there. Maybe we'll get the premium Voidling on the board up against the Sun Disc. See if we can't watch any 10-minute movies today. What do we got? Reasonable cards here with the Voidling and the Elder. Broadwing coming in to get us up to 4 keywords. I didn't see what the Voidling was, but I'm pretty sure we wanted to play it. Should have checked in. Like you can actually have a pretty bad Voidling there. Okay. We are the aggro here, not worried about this damage that we're taking. I feel like we even need a Brightsteel Protector. Let's just give it another turn. Like, if he's going to follow up with a Rock Hopper, whatever, but like a turn or two from now, there's two things, right? If he plays the 3/3, we don't want to attack it anyways, the thing that makes a Sarcophagus, and then if he plays, say, like a Rock Hopper, that's not something that we need to just like deal with now. I'm looking much more into having just Blinding Assault plus Brightsteel Protector on our next attack token. Cool. So this could be a Quicksand. If it is, okay. You know, it's not horrible, not amazing. All the birds, though. Let's see. The weakest enemy. So our weakest one at this point is going to be the form of the Petricide Broadwing. I think that's okay. That's pretty good. Alright, I'll stop here for the moment. Quicksand to be very good here. This game just turned pretty losable. How far away are we? Barrier will kick us up to evolve. I'm not sure what the Bright Steel does at this point. Like, who's our weakest unit? They both cost 2. We probably have to play the other bird just to be in case. Just to be in case, you know? Alright, there's our evolve. Still hoping to take down Zerath with our birds, but we have pretty powerful attacks with our 5/3s at this point.
I was born in Velvet. I cannot leave.
Does he ever just take this 10-piece nugget from us if we attack with our other units? Or does he always just take the value block onto the bright steel? And if he does take the value block, are we happier just to get this 10 damage in? I think we probably are, especially in terms of like if we pick up an overwhelm. Okay. All right, so he hit the bright steel. I think it's random at that point when we have they cost the same, they have the same attack, and they have the same health. I think it's random. I don't know. And Azir. How far away are you? Pretty close. Pretty close. Well, he's gonna flip now. Get ready to watch that movie. Oh. Oh, that was a decision. Now he has to get his Azir into combat before he gets the opportunity to flip. That can't feel good. Yeah, just the Habitals. Okay. I guess we can still win this one. Man, we don't have an overwhelm for our Kaisa though. Right, this one's done. Damn. I felt pretty good about winning that one too. I guess that is one of those things that comes down to when you don't have Kaisa in your deck. It can be hard. Or we most certainly have Kaisa in our deck. Let me rephrase that. When you don't actually draw, or if you don't draw the rights to give the draw to her. All right, on to Quinn Gwen. So what do we got here? First time seeing Void Abomination today. But let's hang on to the right, search for a 1-drop. I feel like every time we hang on to the right, we're just going to draw Kaisa immediately. But it is what it is, I guess. Okay, I'm not in a big hurry on this board. There's no reason to just come in and give him a bunch of Halloweds at this point. So we'll give it a bit of time. I'm not opposed to taking this unit down, though, and then trying to Rite of Calling after the fact. Like, once the Broadwing only has 1 health, but... Doesn't sound spectacular. 3 keywords. Elder will get us to 4. Or, yeah, get us to 4. Okay.
Take the children to safety now.
Do we even want to bother with this boisterous host? I mean, probably not. I don't feel like we're in a spot to where it's super important to take down. Still going to wait a little bit on these Rite of Callings, though. I feel like we're going to get good plays with the likes of Quicksand and stuff, so we can probably wait until our turn 6 to to spew one of these off. Alright, so the only thing I care about this turn is that one of our units dies. And we're not going to interact favorably with this Kaisa. So I'm going to go ahead and give the full quicksand onto his boisterous host. I think that cancels out him getting hallowed as well. But now we're going to be ready to activate this Radiant Guardian. And then we can sacrifice away another unit to pick up a Kaisa. Yeah, he doesn't get the hallowed after the quicksand. Okay. Snip, snap, motherfucker. So it's probably a little too dangerous to wait. I would like to kind of wait and see what we can pick up, but we'll go ahead and get rid of the Elder. I guess the other thing is we could... How about this? What if we just give up a mana gem as well? We won't have the mana to play a Supercharge. Okay. Never mind. I was like, well, what if we go ahead and not worry about that mana and get our Kaisa going, but it doesn't sound like a winner.
Their every move just makes me stronger.
Right, so if he's got a concerted strike, we're going to be hurting, but if the Kaisa gets to come in and attack here, we're looking pretty strong, gaining 10 health back, getting a hook over here onto the boisterous host. All seems pretty reasonable. We don't have overwhelms, though. So, man, we're not going to gain any life steals, are we? It's kind of shitty. Kinda shitty. Needed them life steals, bro. Timely quicksand. No denying that. Just don't feel like we care about any of this. That can't feel good, right? when you just end up giving up your turn like that, that can't feel good. So how do we make this work? We should have Rite of Calling last turn's how we make this work. Hopefully he can't interact with what we're doing here, but we really need to get Overwhelm onto our Kaisa. We should have last turn picked up the Supercharger. But I guess we were passing. He just kind of passed at an awkward place there. If we get to pull all of this off, we should be looking pretty strong. Uh-oh. Sharp Sight. And Concerted Strike. Afraid that's not going to be enough, my friend. All right. You know what time it is now. It's time to fuck them up. Oh, family, bro. It's all about family. Tuna on white, no crust, bro. GG. I don't know if you all can tell, I got a fresh haircut today. I'm looking pretty good. They usually just have the wife cut the hair now. That was a pretty solid monetary investment when you get a haircut like this, and then you just buy a pair of clippers. Like, it always feels stupid to go and spend a bunch of money to have someone Just push a pair of clippers over top of your head. Like this isn't something that you go to school to learn how to do. This is that's something they teach you on day one. And if you can't figure this out at the end of day one, then you probably have no business being a hair cutter. And so, for the most part, the wife just cuts the hair now. But see if we can get him with hired gun. She was busy today, and so I had to go out into the wild, interact with the other human beings and stuff. And this could be a Quinn coming at us, so I'm just gonna play the Sea's voice. I go to the sport clips because you typically just don't have to interact with people, which is fantastic. I love not having to interact with other humans. Like, you sit there, they have sports ball on the televisions, and then the person usually figures out pretty quick that you don't want to talk to them, and so you get out of there kind of fast. But their TVs were broke today, and so I didn't get to just sit and stare at the TV. I had to interact with the human. It was fucking tough. It's tough. I made it through at the end of the day, but man, what a struggle life can be sometimes. All right, that was a pretty strong unit to drop on us. We can at least push this dum-dum to the end. With the 4/4, we can tentacle smash the Badger Bear. This one attack will fall off the Badger Bear next turn. So, wasn't a horrible turn. Make It Rains feel good here, though. Say if he's going to play Strike Up the Bands and stuff. See ya, Badger Bear. You got a sharp sight, bro? You're gonna need that sharp sight. Feels good. I'll stop with the 1. I want to get both of our units down on board next turn, and so I don't think that 1 point... Ooh, blood in the water? Hell, the turns have tabled. Okay. Give me that rally.
Get bloody, get paid.
Alright, we do have the point of damage to anything, which can take down both of these units, but I don't think this matters. He's only got 1 mana at this point. Oh, not you. You. Little guy. Now we can only block one of our big boys. GG. A rip when I ram. A ram when I rip. That's the way Dylon spit. That spits the hot fire. Can you name the top 5 rappers of all time? Dylon, 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 and Dylon. I don't know what the deal is with Chappelle these days. Seems like he's gotten in trouble again. I assume it has to do with transgender comments, but that classic Chappelle Show stuff. But all right, back to this, an actual real lineup coming at us. And I'm curious as to what the big problem here would be. Ari Bard tends to be the worst of these for us. It's pretty tough to deal with the elusives. We don't have the Mystic Shot kind of cards you're looking for to interact with Ari and the little elusives. And so that's going to be the one that I'm looking to ban here. I'm not a huge fan of playing against Aphelios. I don't really like that deck, but it tends to be manageable for these kind of lineups. And so I think we should be okay against Annie Jen, and then Ari Bard is the big one. This was, if you like swing back to our seasonals, would have been like kind of one of the problems. We were looking to just ban Aphelios Vi in every single matchup, but you had a couple of issues as to where if they brought Aphelios Vi with Ari Bard, or if they bought Aphelios Vi with Talia Lysandra, then our game plan kind of fell apart. and we ran into excessive amounts of those two combos. I think it was something like 4 or 5% of the lineups brought both Aphelios Victor, Aphelios Vi, and then they also brought what the fuck was this? And then they also brought okay, I guess Talia Lysandra, and we ran into two of those people. It was kind of a low roll, but as I kind of thought back on it more, I'm not really surprised that even though that lineup wasn't super good in my opinion, it was okay just in terms of bringing a bunch of copies of the best decks in the format, which kind of makes sense. I didn't give it as much credit as I should have. Come on, bud, you want to hang out? Are we going to play this game where you meow at me and claw me, but you never jump up here? Alright, he's up here. We're good to go. It's a kitty. I'll get him on the screen. Everybody loves a good kitty. Say what up, bro. Alright. Back to the action. I got to keep checking this Voidling to see if it's hitting lifesteal. It hasn't yet, so we'll go with the Elder this turn. We're the control deck here. We really just need to build up to a lifesteal turn, and we'll be okay. Find enough to trade. Buys us plenty of time.
I'll shoot the wings off a bilge wasp.
Okay. Need more pets, bud? Need more pets. I understand. I feel you. Regenerate. Oh, what we're looking for. We want to just go ahead and play it anyways. Like, where are we at in terms of this? If we're going to get 2 keywords off the Blinding Assault, 1 from the Voidling, 1 from the Merciless Hunter. Like, having the Voidling as a 3/3 is pretty decent. I'm looking to say, what if we played Merciless Hunter, put the hook into Crackshot Corsair, and then just trade away our Merciless Hunter? I think this is okay. And then the big thing we can try and do is build up to turn 5 to where we Rite of Calling away a unit, and then have that be the fuel for our Radiant Guardian. And then on turn 6, can we have both Kaisa and Blinding Assault? I think this all works out, if we spend all of our mana in order. But just need to not die right now. This is the big thing. If we get a Radiant and we get a Kaisa, we're going to be more than okay. The big thing here is we don't double up on keywords with the Voidling. Hit Elusive on this one. We drew another one with Lifesteal. Nice. So yeah, let's just play it off. Why not, right? We won't be attacking with the Quinn Bird. We're using it for the 2 keywords. But we will get to attack with our Voidlings. Clever. I'm pretty sure this one's locked down at this point. We're gonna go ham with these keywords. Of course, we just draw Kaisa. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Can he ever burn us out? Like, whatever. Let's just not even let it be a factor. He's not gonna have an answer to Kaisa. She's just gonna go murder mode after this point. Like, realistically, I don't think he can beat a Radiant Guardian. So, this should be fine. We should be fine, shouldn't we, bud? Give you them good scratches while we watch these sweet flip animations. Rip. Okay. Good job, friends.
A small victory is a victory all the same. Good work.
All right. On to the Akshan Gnar. Forget what we named this one. I bet it was awesome, though. Real American Muscle. That's what Vin Diesel drives. You see him down in Cuba. He's getting ready to hit the quarter-mile race, which is way longer. He lives life a quarter mile at a time, but I forget what this was in like Fast 7, maybe? when they're in Cuba, and he has, like, the car that he ends up, like, setting on fire. I think that was the right one I'm thinking about. It says, I only drive real American muscle. Oh, so beautiful. I gotta get back into watching those, man. I gotta go back and check them out. I hope the new ones turn out okay. They've been having directorial issues, which sounds like nobody wants to work with Vin Diesel. And so I hope things turn around. All right, we can get an action block in. We need to find like a little something to do. I don't like it that like I can't mulligan away Papercraft Dragon because it's too important to have in these matches, but picking up all of these expensive cards was kind of painful. Gnar is a good addition though. Might be able to OTK if we pick up a source of damage. Even if we don't, like, he's probably gonna open on us here, but even if we don't, the wallop is still good. Prevent them damages. Alright. Get our friend Gnar on the board. Give him his friend Papercraft Dragon. And then we can start doing work with those pokey sticks. That's not ignorable. Dang. Bringing it. Can we afford to go Papercraft Dragon this turn? Like, we might find ourselves having to just drop a Ruin Runner. But, I mean, Tibbers costs 6. If he opens with the Gnar next turn, that's pretty bad. Okay, let's just go Ruin Runner now. Ideally, we'll be able to get a Gnar flip this turn. And then when Gnar flips, he'll be big enough to survive a Tibbers hit. Drawing Wallop was pretty good as well. The big disaster here would be an Arachnoid Sentry. He would have slammed it if he had Arachnoid Sentry. So I think we're at least okay with that, right? If he got a stun onto Gnar and got a trade onto our Ruin Runner, that would have been an absolute disaster. Okay. Much is coming at us. We have to block Annie. We're probably dead here. Probably dead. When they're dropping decimates on you on turn 5, either things have gone very wrong for them or they're about to go very wrong for you. Alright, it says we're only falling to 2. I did the mathematics on that, and 2 is above 0, so we aren't dead. But I feel like we're probably gonna be dead. Yep. GG. Well, at least one thing to say about that game is we did get to spend all of our mana every turn, and we did get to prevent the maximum amount of damage that we could. So that was kind of nice. It would have been a little bit better if we picked up like a like the 2/3 predict unit, and it could actually come in and shut down an Annie. But having a game to where we picked up double Papercraft and still be in it, that was pretty good. I think that unfortunately was one of those games though where we probably would have just won if we were playing the Renekton version, and that is kind of the downside to playing Gnar, right? We had that turn to set up to where we could have put the Papercraft Dragon onto Gnar, but we didn't have an attack. Probably could have set up a kill there with Renekton, but it's the price you pay for the versatility. Okay. Up against Aphelios. Kind of regretting getting rid of that shaped stone, but it kind of makes up for it when you just immediately draw action. It kind of sucks to get your action mystic shotted, but I guess if we're drawing another one, it's okay. We'll see what he plays. If he has a turn 1 play, how do we feel about this? We should probably just put the units down. We can play the second action on turn 3 and still have the mana banked up. I think we just take the opportunity to clear out his board while we can. So if like we go action, he goes Mystic Shot, it kind of sucks. Because that's like really playing into their game plan. But I don't think we can get away from this. Okay. So that turned out nicely. Still need to find our combo pieces, but we're at least getting a decent advantage in the early game. And we'll protect our health. They shouldn't have any way to get out of this Pokey Stick. I guess you could play a Pale Cascade here if you wanted to, but I want to minimize the damage we're taking. Looks like a Pale Cascade coming in. Okay. We have another action in hand, it's okay. Oh, the hit went onto the Chronomancer. Alright, we're not going to get set up for a Papercraft hit on our next attack, and so I think it's okay to play for a bit of width here, and then if we get to keep his board clear of Winding Light width, I think it's pretty okay. He is getting pretty wide here, though. It's a little scary. Like he gets to make his play on turn 7, and we're going to be a little bit short of that. So we can't technically hit though. If we hit off the Relic of Power, so we will have to look to play Ruin Runner this turn. Let's see what turns up. Papercraft. Okay.
Mercy.
Oh man, he's so set up for the Winding Light. That's it? Okay. Interesting. Let's see if that's enough. We'll have a 10 power one coming in, and he only has 2 health units on the board at this point, so we'll see. We have to preemptively play the spell, though. Otherwise, he can just ignore the damage. But now he has to have, like, a giant collection of good stuff for this to work right. He has to have another Pale Cascade so that he survives this attack, and then he has to have a Winding Light as well. And I guess if you have it all, you have it all. Am I right? Looks like he's doing the finger math on how not to take 18 damage here, though. GG. That's what you get, dude. Coming out here, the beginning of the new expansion, and you aren't even playing any of the new cards. We have new cards featured in all 3 of our decks. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You got the most free-to-play friendly card game ever made. I don't think that's hyperbole. I believe that's fact. People are like, oh, I'm not gonna play with any of the new cards. Whoa, Yuumi Pantheon, I like it. I like what you're about, my dude. That's interesting to see. I'm not sure how a lot of these matches line up. Like, I think Yuumi Pantheon is fairly scary. I've been kind of thinking about just playing Yuumi Pantheon anyways. I think it's better than it's been being given credit at this point. But otherwise, I'm not entirely sure how our tokens matches line up. I think they're pretty good. Tokens is one of those decks where it's like really good against Talia Lysandra and then not very good against the rest of the field. And like I know I've had a lot of success with the Kaisa deck against it. It really doesn't like it when you play tough units. It doesn't like it when you play lifesteal units. I think it's all okay. And we're looking at these other two. Now when I stop and think about Yuumi Pantheon, like we do have a lot of the tools in at least two of our decks to be okay against it, right? We have all the Wallops and the Gnar deck. We have the Quicksands and the Kaisa deck. I think it's okay. Like I'm not entirely sure what comes out of these big ephemerals decks though. Like it seems like they should function pretty poorly against our Go Tall decks, just because they don't have any units on board. But we're like pretty bad at blocking there. I think I actually just want to take out the Callista Hecarim deck. But man, I feel like I'm just gonna ban Yuumi Pantheon. It's like as I go back and think about our lists at seasonals, I know all of our seasonals decks had like 60 to 75% win rates against the Hecarim deck. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be good against, but I feel like we should be okay. All right, let's see how it goes. All right, not the greatest of starts. I'm curious how hard I went to mulligan against this thing. I don't have any of the cards I'm really looking for. Radiants are okay if we can get that far. Kind of want to play the turn 1 Voidling. Because Overwhelm is a keyword we don't have a lot of. And I don't really want to just sit around and hope that we get... sit around and hope that we get a useful keyword later. And I do like this turn 1 trade against tokens. Right now, if they say play a turn 2 Emperor's Diaz, they're kind of limited in what they can do at that point, right? They can't open attack because they just don't physically have a unit anymore. And so they can't, they have to go into turn 3 and be hoping that they can play Azirs and stuff. So it's if he plays Diaz here, he's just going to get domed for 4. And then if he doesn't have Diaz, that just feels good, right? I think that's okay. It's his strongest card outside of Azir, in my opinion. I guess I don't know. I don't play too much tokens. Alright, there's a Diaz. Do we ever just Cataclysm this Treasure Seeker? I mean, I don't think so. I think we can give it up a turn. We have a second Blinding Assault in hand, and so I'm just going to go ahead and put the barrier on our Valor. This should be enough for a shutdown, but it's trying to set up a turn where we can get a decent trade. Interesting. Is he actually going to attack here? I didn't think so. Sharp Sight. Sharp Sight counts as a keyword if you're not familiar with that. We hit a lurk. Oh wow, that makes it so wonderful to want to just shuffle away the top card of our deck. I think we have to Rite of Calling away our Brightsteel Protector, but man. It's I want to get the bonus onto our Radiant. Okay. How bad is this if the Rite of Calling fails? Let's be real, that's pretty bad. But he has to have a Homecoming specifically at this point. All right. Squeeze him. I'm talking about your butt cheeks right now. You gotta squeeze him for us. Nice. Okay. He does have that mana built up for a Defiant Dance, though. That would be fairly painful. Well, sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit, am I right? This doesn't feel like playing like Blinding Assault, Xerxes Hatchling, Cataclysm really does anything. Like, we know he doesn't have Homecoming, right? If he had the Homecoming, he most certainly would have counterspelled that Rite of Calling. Now, Defiant Dance with like building directly into 4 mana, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for pain here. Ooh. That opportunity for pain didn't come through.
Here's where we make our stand. We have something the void will never understand. Me.
So unfortunately don't have any supercharges right now. If we are able to give Kaisa the Overwhelm Spell Shield Scout Challenger, then this would be totes done. But we're still in a pretty good spot here if he can't interact with her. Take 0, cool. Gotcha.
And move. Time to burn you away.
Okay. Should be pretty safe, even if he has like Quicksand or something to protect the Azir. Still getting a lot of these rains in. Oh boy. Oh boy. That can't feel good. Okay. Get this hatchling on board. Let's see what we can do. I'm not sure if Kaisa is going to just outright kill... She will outright kill the Sandstone Charger. Okay.
Can't hide from the light.
I think we're good, Fam Jam. Agree or disagree, our board is pretty strong right now. Agree or disagree? Alright, take 0.
It's too late. You can't stop them.
No, but I can help save my people.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton. Cool. So we're gonna give Kaisa the spell shield now. Feel pretty safe with her. Oop.
I am the hunter. Time to burn you away.
Ripping him real good.
Dance for beauty in these times.
Zinnia. Haven't seen Zinnia in a while. Interesting to see coming out. Alright, take 0. Give it one of these. Game says neg 24. Think we should be good to go. Alright, good job, Kaisa deck. Winning it for the family. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Very kind.
A small victory is a victory all the same.
Small victory is a victory all the same. You're right, girl. You preach it. Alright, on to the Akshan Gnar. Again, like, I'm pretty sure, like, when I was putting together matchup tables for seasonals, it was like, I just combined all the Hecarims together because every matchup we had against Hecarim was all, like, 60 to 70% win rates. Now, granted, they were pretty low sample size, but the win rates were looking pretty strong. Now, here, up against tokens, we have to get some early game interactivity. And so I'm going to mulligan away Gnar, definitely getting rid of our 5 drops and Rite of Negations, but got to just find something to get down in the early game. Okay, reasonable. Going for health. Going for the armors so we can block Sand Soldiers for longer. Alright, we'll see how much we look to build up here. I wanted to save the mana for Pokestick. If he like plays a Diaz or passes or something, we could certainly pivot, but I wanted to have the Pokestick mana so if we roll around and are getting ready for Gnar, then we have options as far as he's concerned.
Shurima never fell. It only awaited my return. Remember this, the order is given.
A lot of damage coming in. We're going to have to pivot over to Merciless Hunter onto Azir. Still going shield, though. I'm trying to go shield. Go shield. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton, right, Arda?
Gonna find a gift for Renekton.
Every blade, every beat in its place. We'll get our licks in.
Okay. Looks reasonable. Azir down. Can't deal with Irelia at this point, but whatever. I'm gonna drop a bird. We do have like this board completely full of 1 health units, but I'm okay to trade away some of these. Like I don't care about the Squires or the Bellringer, maybe not even Merciless Hunter.
You need not follow, but you will witness.
Okay, our Pokestick's about to pop off.
Your Emperor commands.
I think we'll take the 2 from the blades, but then throw 1 unit in front of the Azir things. Prevent a little bit of damage here. Alright, so our shields aren't going to be as good anymore. Because he's going to start... all of his units are going to have that bonus health at this point. But Gnar should still be a good block. Let's still do boost Gnar. I can't imagine he ever just passes here, but if he just passes, this is going to feel pretty bad. So I want to go ahead and make sure we get the Gnar flip. With the Gnar having 4 health, he shouldn't be able to attack with Irelia. This looks pretty safe. Do we take 3? I mean, our attacks with Merciless Hunter next turn are pretty good. Okay. With like Gnar is going to Mega Gnar target one of his things, and then we can. He hits the strongest one, right? And so then we should be able to Ruthless Predator down his other champion. Oh, fuck, he hit the sparring student. Oh, it's round end, not round start. Okay. Makes sense. We ever get action big enough to win? I don't think so. So I guess the thing we can look to do is... Like, we need to use this grappling hook this turn, right? And so I want to open attack, but we can hook Sparring Student like this, right? Now we can Ruthless Predator. We'll give our +2 attack to Gnar. I'm pretty tempted to let Azir stand. My problem with this board is Irelia flipping, right? If she starts playing Syncopates or whatever the bounce around thing is called, Blade Surges, then we're going to have problems. So let's do this. Let's put +2 attack onto the Merciless Hunter. Put the Vulnerable onto Irelia. Come in like this, and then I'm willing to bet he doesn't block our Merciless Hunter with Azir. Now, the next new question is, do we want to go ahead and Tiny Shield something to get the action flip in so we start getting better Warlords things? I'm kind of on board with that.
Fixing the world one scoundrel at a time.
And hopefully he doesn't read into Merciless Hunter grappling hooking his Azir after this attack. Nice. Nice.
When rhythm takes hold, there's no time for fear.
A little scary. All right. So do a predict draw. Do we ever want Rite of Negation? That's probably a necessity at this point. To counter a Blade Surge or counter a Defiant Dance or something. And Merciless Hunter into Azir. Nice. All right, Fam Jam. It's by no means guaranteed, but I don't think we're in a terrible space. We don't have good blockers anymore. That's for fucking certain. But we dealt with all of the champions. He's gonna have to spend a lot of mana to get things going again. Okay. Wow, that's wow. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it.
Someday. How could we have known it would be then?
So we have to save the Rite of Negation for the Blade Surge, or the Flawless Duet, whatever this thing's called. Okay. Mana gem, please. So we can't flip our Gnar, but we can still make like a Supercharger play. Maybe get in there.
A line around me. Step lightly.
Greater things await. The order is given.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we just dead? Motherfucker. Okay.
Quit struggling.
Yeah, good job, dude. Fucking insane. All right. Good job.
Evil never plays fair.
On to the next one. Thought we did so good in that. Just acing all of the champions, getting everything set up, and then he just follows up with just the actual everything. Okay. Okay. Sometimes you're just gonna have to say, okay. It's gonna be one of those games, I guess. Alright, so now up against this deck, I'm not super certain what, I'm honestly haven't played against any of these Hecarim-based decks, maybe like one game over the past month, and so I think we probably need some of our early game interactivity, and then see what we can do from there.
Oh, hello there.
Don't think they're good at dealing with the combo if we can find it. Here's our papercraft. So everything will be here.
It can be undone.
Feels like a big un.
I'll have to see. I'm curious if we want to wallop this turn. Like, I guess it depends on what he plays. If he drops a single ephemeral, if we want to come in and play wallops. He may just not attack. That would be kind of cool. We haven't played any landmarks yet. I was like kind of thinking in my brain piece if we could get a good shaped stone, but it's not going to be the case. Good deal. Good deal. Mega. So let's see what he does. Good chance we get to just punch in our Gnar here. They have lots of just like ephemeral dudes, and so there's a pretty reasonable chance he just doesn't have a way to stop both of our plays. And so we of course will get a pokey stick out of this, so we could just play that next turn, but boy. That can't feel good for opponent. This is his turn. He has to do something. And he just passes? Alright, we'll see how regrettable this is. We'll still add the Ruin Runner. We can wallop if we need to, but... Okay. Alright, well here's this fun and interactive play, my dude. We even have the means to hook the Callista out of combat. He can get in here and interact with this, right? He can drop a like a burn spell and such, but we have the wallop now, right? Doesn't matter who he blocks with, he's just gonna get walloped out. Okay. Stop and analyze it for a moment. Pretty sure it's okay. Game says neg 16. Can't even Vile Feast out of that. There you got it, GG. Market of Prime Glory. Taking down the dirty tokens players and stuff. Getting the GGs. And so, yeah, I mean, I think this was a reasonable enough lineup. We can pull it up and talk about it again. But again, as we're here at the beginning of the season, I like to look just towards consistency, right? I don't like getting... it's not even really a matter of having like super untuned decks, but you're gonna be running against untuned decks, and so if you want to be like dirty like some of those people and bring Aphelios Victor in full like pre-seasonals seasonals lineups, then like fine. But I think with these you're gonna play like a wide variety of stuff, and that makes me think it's just not a great place to bring a deck like tokens, right? When you see tokens turn up, it's really good against like Talia Lysandra. And then even with our like untuned Kaisa decks, I felt pretty strong running up against it. I think a lot of the what's her name, the Wen decks might be okay as well. And so this isn't the time to be making decisions based on specific matchups is what I'm getting at. And I know that we were pretty good kind of across the board here. This is very kind of like Fizz Riven style stuff that I really like to take into the Gauntlet because it plays so good against just a wide variety of things. And so the only, I guess, downside to a lineup like we brought today are all of the strategies are pretty similar, right? We're going really heavy into Kaisa with our family deck. We're going super tall with the Papercraft Dragon and our Real American Muscle deck, and then we do have a lot of go tall elements with the Illaoi deck. That's your I called it the tuna deck because it's a fish, right? I guess the tentacle is not really a fish, but this is your tuna on white, no crust. But they are, these go tall strategies. They are kind of weak to vengeance-based decks. But I think there's enough raw power here to be good against just the varietals, and then it's just high-quality decks across the board anyways. And so, good stuff, good stuff. I had fun with this one. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. And that is going to do it for us today. And so, hope you enjoyed the video. You learned how to quote the best movies series of all time a little bit better. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Busted Me. Thank you for being here.